theologically enough to give you a direct answer. So I really don't know. I'm sorry.
Basically, how long you're in hell for an atheist is how long until you get there and drive out of hell, Minnesota. That's all you have to do. Okay, Godfrey 2. Do you have a question? Okay. God the Almighty. Okay. Like I said, if you want me to skip over you, please change your user status to red, so I can save a lot more time. Godvids, you're red. Godvids, I love you. Great 8 Sin. I hope I said it right. Do you have a question? Why does the creation of the universe be based on a who and not a what? To me, it feels like selfish thought.
I think the concept of being based on a who is much more appropriate, being that we look at ourselves as human beings and our ability to function and our ability to come up with certain things, to design certain things. At least he shows us to be exceptionally superior to the rest of the animals in the world. And how come we can't extrapolate this beyond the material universe? I don't see why that's not a problem.
For me, if a who did create the universe, my question is did Horton hear it? Horton hears a who, Dr. Seuss. No. Okay, Harrison 101. Question, both of you, if you could ask one of the great Christians, theologian, one question, what would you ask? I would ask Jesus point blank, are you the Messiah, the Son of God incarnate, or are you just simply a prophet of God? Might as well go for the cheese.
I would ask St. Thomas Aquinas, when you were I don't know, I would ask him, there's a myth, and here's the reason for my question, there's a myth about him that he used to dictate like 5 or 6 different books at the same time. He would basically write 5 books at the same time by dictating to different scribes what to write. I'd ask him if that's true or not. He was able to do that. I want to see that happen, because I mean, he was a genius. So.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. My good friend Hawthorne is in the room, otherwise known as the Prince of Mill Avenue. We've actually done a video together on YouTube. No, Hawthorne. Oh man, he got a good question for sure. Of course, he's not typing it. Come on. Hawthorne, you let me down. Okay. Haywood Smith. What is your question? I would like Dawa to address the well-known Epicurus quote, insert Allah where God is. Is God willing to prevent evil but not able? Then is he not omnipotent? Is he able but not willing? Then he is malevolent. Is he both willing and able? Then comes evil. Is he never God? And all that good stuff.
Answer?
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
The question was that I hear this often a lot, and Augustine from the Christian tradition already answered it, and even many Muslim theologians answer it by stating that evil is simply a privation of good, that nothing is purely evil in and of itself. What Muslims like to say, Muslim theologians like to say, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is both the producer of good and bad. However, the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is good is because the outcome for everything that he does is ultimately good. So that would be the answer to that.
Okay, Hey Duffy, what is your question? And like I said, guys, please have your questions pre-typed, so when I call on you, all you have to do is press enter, and it's right there. Okay, Duffy, you didn't make it. H-Tune Tube, what is your question? And guys, please, if you want me to pass over you, please change your user status to red. If you just scroll down below your names, there's this little circle thing right next to the magnifying glass and letter M. Click on that, change your user status to red. It'll help us out really well. Huckleberry Hound, what is your question? What have you learned about each other's beliefs tonight? Has this been debate helpful in your understanding? For me, I did learn a lot about Muslim apologetics. Not to say that I'm an expert, on the Quran. I'm not. I do consider myself an expert on the Bible. I can quote it backward and forward. But I do have a rudimentary knowledge of the Quran. But what I did not know is I did not know the Muslims' response to criticisms of the Quran. Now that we know more of the Muslim apologetics, then we can actually start working on refuting those. And that's what I got out of this debate.
What I got out of this debate, I already kind of knew a lot about what many atheists believe, but what I really got out of this debate, I think the most valuable thing, is the fact that people simply don't understand what a lot of Muslims believe, or at least a lot of moderate or even the reformist positions. Even the chat comment, it was very humorous to me that as I was explaining things, people were telling me that I was lying. Just because, I was trying to explain certain things. They're saying, no, that's wrong, it's not how I read it. But, well, if you didn't, that's how you don't understand it, don't come here, and listen to what I have to say. But, that's really what's come here, too, is just simply how people perceive us more or less, or how they perceive our theology and the Quran. And it gives me a better perspective on what I need to do and what I need to focus on in the future on my channel specifically.
Okay. And most importantly, we proved a lot of people wrong. There were a lot of people who said this could not happen, and we proved them wrong. So, I am Bear. I'll say that name right.
Can we make this the last one?
Yeah, we can make this the last one. I myself will be glad to continue asking questions. If you have a question, send it to DawahFilms on his YouTube channel. I myself, for those of you that uploaded videos, I'll be watching all your videos. I'll be leaving comments on them. Like I said, he's gone to bed, and we've done the best we could. So, yeah, we will let this be the last question. So, Ian Bear, you get to ask Dawah the last question. And he is not active.
I would get, I'm going to take Jaden's instead. I'm going to take Jaden's question then.
You're going to take James?
I know
okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I found out that there is no God and all religions are false, how would you think you would feel? I would feel the same way that I feel now. The enjoyment that I have in understanding things. People would say, a lot of people say, well, if you lose your religion, you're losing something. You must feel depressed or whatever. No, I don't believe I feel depressed. If I believe I found the truth, I would never feel depressed. I think there's only a gain in finding the truth. Whatever you lose is simply was never there to begin with. It was always a falsehood. So I would never, in any sense, feel depression. I would simply try to adapt and to exist, and to continue finding more truth.